I work as a waitress at one of New York City's most expensive restaurants. Most nights, I serve celebrities, CEOs, and people who spend more on a single meal than I make in a week. I smile, stay professional, and never ask for autographs or make a scene. 3 months ago, I was working a double shift when Adrian Keller walked in. If you haven't heard the name, he's worth $4.2 billion, a self-made tech mogul who appears on every Forbes list. He requested a private table and asked to be alone, which is unusual for someone so famous. I was assigned to him. I brought water, took his order, and stayed invisible, the way good servers do. Then I saw his wrist, a small tattoo, a red rose with thorns twisted into an infinity symbol. My heart stopped. My mother has the exact same tattoo, same design, same placement. I've asked her about it all my life, but she only says it's from before you were born. I did something I'd never done with a customer. I asked a personal question. "Excuse me, sir. My mother has a tattoo exactly like yours. What does it mean?" Adrian froze. Then he asked my mother's name. When I said it, he dropped his wine glass, staring at me as if I had brought someone back from the dead. Before I continue, think about this. Have you ever discovered a secret about your parents that changed the way you see them? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy stories about lost love, second chances, and how the past never stays buried, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now let me tell you about the night a tattoo revealed a story 25 years in the making. The hardest part, my mother is dying. She has stage 4 breast cancer, metastasized to her lymph nodes and liver. Doctors gave her a year. This was 3 months ago. She's been fighting through chemotherapy, radiation, and clinical trials, but treatments are expensive. Even with insurance, the copays are crushing. My mother, Julia, has worked as a housekeeper for 24 years, cleaning homes in Manhattan and Brooklyn. She never complains, never asks for help, just works 6 or 7 days a week. Now she can't work. She's too weak, too sick. So I work double shifts at Cipriani, sometimes breakfast and dinner, occasionally lunch if they need me. On a good night, I might make $400 in tips. It's not enough, but it's all I have. It was a Friday night in late October. Cipriani was packed. I was on my 8th hour, feet aching, smile in place, counting down the hours. Josh, the floor manager, pulled me aside. "Lucia, table 12 VIP. He asked for privacy and the best server we have. That's you." Who was it? Adrian Keller. Everyone knew the name. Self-made German tech billionaire, empire built from nothing, sitting alone at a private corner table. I approached the table. Adrian sat with his back to the wall, mid-40s, dark blonde hair graying, dressed in a charcoal suit, no tie. He looked at his phone, sad. "Good evening, sir. My name is Lucia. I'll be taking care of you tonight. Can I start you with a drink?" He nodded. "Red wine, whatever you recommend." I poured water and set down bread. He barely noticed, staring out the window at the Manhattan skyline. I brought his wine, took his order, medium rare minion with asparagus, and turned to leave. That's when I saw it. His left wrist, sleeve pulled back slightly, revealing the tattoo. My breath caught. A red rose with thorns forming an infinity symbol. I knew that tattoo. I'd seen my mother's wrist every day of my life. Faded now, but still visible. I asked her about it when I was 7. "Mama, what does that mean?" She replied, "It's from a long time ago before you were born." I pressed further. "Did you love someone?" She said, "I love you." "Someone else, once, a long time ago. Your dad? He's gone." That was all. She never spoke of it again. Now, seeing that tattoo on a billionaire I'd never met, I froze. He noticed. "Is something wrong?" I couldn't help it. My mother has a tattoo exactly like that. Same rose, same thorns, same wrist. Adrian went completely still, wine glass halfway to his lips, frozen. "What did you say?" "My mother, she has that tattoo. I've asked her my entire life. She won't say what it means." "What is your mother's name?" "Julia. Julia Rosie." He dropped the wine glass. Shattered on the table. Red wine spread like blood across the white cloth. "Julia," he whispered. I grabbed napkins, trying to clean up. "I'm so sorry. Let me get you another glass." "How old are you?" he asked, not looking at the mess. 24, sir." He did the math in his head. "Where is she?" "She's in the hospital." "She's sick, sir." He stood abruptly, pulled out his wallet, threw down several $500 bills. "I have to go. Keep the money. I have to go." And just like that, he left, leaving me with a shattered wine glass, $500, and no idea what had just happened. That night, I texted my mother. 2 a.m. Mama, do you know someone named Adrian Keller? No response. She was probably asleep. I Googled him. Dozens of articles, profiles, photos at conferences, galas, charity events. Always alone. Text most eligible bachelor. Why hasn't Adrian Keller ever settled down? In one interview 5 years ago, he said, I was in love once, a long time ago. It didn't work out. I've never found that again. I looked at a photo of him in that same article. The tattoo was visible. The rose, the thorns, the infinity. What had happened between him and my mother? The next morning, I went to the hospital. Visiting hours began at 10. My mother was in room 407, oncology wing, 4th floor. She was awake, sitting up, thin from chemo, bald, with an IV in her arm. But she smiled when she saw me. Toro, you didn't have to come so early. I always come on Saturdays, Mama. I kissed her forehead and sat beside her. How are you feeling? Tired, but okay. The new medicine helps with the nausea. That's good. We talked about small things. Her treatment, the nurses, the hospital food. Then I asked, as casually as I could, Mama, do you know someone named Adrian Keller? She froze. Why are you asking that name? He came into the restaurant last night. He has a tattoo on his wrist, just like yours. The color drained from her face. Adrian was there? At your restaurant. You do know him. He's famous, you know. Lucia, where is he now? I don't know. He left. He saw me, asked your name, and when I said Julia Rosie, he just left. Mama, who is he? She started to cry. He found me. After all these years, he found me. Mama, what are you talking about? I knew him as Adrian before he was Adrian Keller. We were in love 25 years ago before you were born. What happened? I had to leave. My grandmother was dying and I had to go back to Italy. I promised I'd come back in 6 months. I tried, but when I returned, he was gone. I searched everywhere. I thought he'd forgotten me, moved on. And the tattoo? She touched her wrist gently. We got them together the week before I left. He said, even when we're apart, we'll have proof we existed, that what we had was real. I didn't know what to say. I need to see him, she said. Lucia, please. I don't have much time left. I need him to know I never forgot. Mama, I don't have his number. I don't know how to reach him. You said he's famous now. There must be a way. I called the restaurant. Josh, did Mr. Keller leave any contact information? No, but someone's here asking for you. Says his name is Thomas Beck. He's Adrian Keller's lawyer. I'm at the hospital. Can he come here? A pause then. He'll be there in 30 minutes. Thomas Beck arrived exactly 30 minutes later. Mid-50s, gray suit, calm expression. We met in the hospital cafeteria. Miss Rosie, I represent Mr. Keller. He asked me to find you and inquire about your mother. Is he okay? He seemed upset when he left last night. He's been upset for 25 years. Last night was the first time he's had any hope. He opened a tablet. Can you tell me about your mother, her full name, condition, and where she's being treated? Julia Rosie. She's 48, has stage 4 breast cancer, Mount Sinai Hospital, room 407. Doctors say less than a year. He typed as I spoke. And she knows Adrian? She says they were in love 25 years ago. She went to Italy when her grandmother was ill. When she came back, he was gone. She thought he'd moved on. He didn't, Thomas said quietly. He searched for her for 5 years. He thought she'd chosen to stay in Italy. They both believed the other had given up. He closed the tablet. Adrian wants to see her, with your permission. She wants to see him too. When? Now. She doesn't have much time. Understood. I'll bring him this afternoon. 3 hours later, there was a knock on the door of room 407. I opened it. Adrian Keller stood there, wearing the same charcoal suit as the night before, but looking older, exhausted, nervous. Is she? She's awake. She knows you're coming. But Adrian, she's very sick. She looks different. The chemo? I don't care. I just need to see her. I stepped aside. He walked in. My mother sat up, frail but smiling. The moment she saw him, her face changed. Years of pain seemed to fade. Adrian, Julia. He sat by her bed, took her hand, traced her tattoo with his fingers. They didn't speak at first, just looked at each other, both crying. I waited outside the room for 2 hours. Through the door, I heard quiet voices, sometimes crying, sometimes soft laughter. I tried not to listen, scrolling through my phone, pretending to be distracted. Finally, after 2 hours and 7 minutes, the door opened. Adrian came out. His eyes were red, his face pale. He looked devastated. Is she okay? I asked. She's fine. He stopped and looked at me. Something in his face made my stomach drop. Adrian, what's wrong? Lucia, I need to talk to you. Now, somewhere private. Okay, the cafeteria. We walked there in silence, the kind that makes your heart pound. We sat down with untouched coffee under flickering lights. His hands were shaking. You're scaring me, I said. What did my mother tell you? Lucia, he said hoarsely, when's your birthday? What? March 15th. What year? 2000. What's going on? He closed his eyes, took a slow breath, then opened them, tears gathering. Your mother told me something she's hidden for 24 years. My chest tightened. What? When she went to Italy in 1999, she didn't know she was pregnant. She found out a month later in August. The world seemed to shift. Pregnant with you. I couldn't speak. She came back to New York in January 2000, 7 months pregnant. She went to my apartment, but I'd moved a month earlier. She searched for me for 2 weeks and couldn't find me. His voice broke. March 15th, 2000, you were born in this hospital, and she was alone. Are you saying? I'm saying we think I'm your father. Everything around me disappeared. Just his words remained. We think I'm your father. No, I shook my head. My mother said my father was someone from Italy. She said that because she couldn't find me. She thought I'd moved on. She thought I'd forgotten her. But I was here, Lucia, in New York for 24 years, searching for her, for both of you. I just didn't know you existed. You didn't know about me? I had no idea. If I'd known, if I'd found her when she came back, everything would have been different. I stood suddenly, the chair scraping against the floor. I need to talk to my mother. Lucia, I need to hear it from her. I walked back to room 407 slowly. My mother was sitting up, waiting. When she saw my face, her eyes filled with tears. He told you, she whispered. I sat down beside her. Yeah, he told me. Are you angry? She asked softly. I thought for a long moment. Was I angry? I wasn't sure what I was, but I knew everything had changed. Hurt, confused, overwhelmed. I don't know what I am, I said. Honestly, tell me everything from the beginning. I need to understand. So she did. My mother explained meeting Adrian in 1999, falling in love, and having to leave for Italy when her grandmother had a stroke. She found out she was pregnant about a month after arriving, 6 weeks along. Why didn't you tell him? I asked. I wanted to, but international calls were expensive. I tried writing letters, but I don't know if he got them. Nana was very sick, and I kept thinking I'd tell him when I returned, but when I came back, he was gone. I was 7 months pregnant. I went to his apartment. The landlord said he moved in December. No forwarding address. Phone disconnected. And you looked for him? I asked. For 2 weeks, I searched everywhere, asked everyone who might know. Nobody did. I was huge, exhausted, alone. After 2 weeks, I gave up. I told myself if he wanted to find me, he would have. Maybe he met someone else. I had to focus on you. I stayed at a friend's place, then got my own apartment. I kept quiet for a long time, processing everything. I reached for her hand. I'm not angry, Mama. I'm just sad, for all of us, for the years we lost. She shook her head. How can I be angry? You were 23, alone, pregnant, scared. You did the best you could. You gave me a good life, worked yourself to the bone. You deserved a father, and he deserved to know he had a daughter, but neither of you knew. You were both searching but missed each other. Just bad timing. She cried softly. I love you so much. I love you too, Mama. I squeezed her hand and left the room to think. Adrian found me in the stairwell 20 minutes later. Can I join you? He asked. Sure. He sat beside me. We were quiet. Your mother told you everything? He asked. Yes, I understand why it happened. Why it happened? It wasn't anyone's fault, just bad timing. I looked at him. I'm 24, and I just learned the man I thought was some guy from Italy who left is actually you. You've been in New York my whole life. That's a lot to process. Silence. Then I asked the question I had to know. Why did you move in December 1999, right before she returned? Adrian leaned forward. I got a job offer at a startup in Midtown. Better pay than construction. Real pay. Enough to save money. I thought if I worked long hours, I could go to Italy, find Julia, bring her back, or stay there with her, whatever she wanted. So I moved closer to work and worked 16 to 18-hour days to save. I changed my phone number because the old landline was disconnected. I gave the landlord my new number. He said he'd pass it along if anyone asked, but he didn't. Mom said she asked him. He claimed you left no forwarding address. He was 89. Probably forgot. I left in early December, started the new job December 15th. Your mother returned January 10th. I missed her by 1 month. 1 month, Lucia. If I had waited, if the landlord had remembered, you would have known about me. I could have been there for everything. The pregnancy, your birth, the first 24 years of your life. I tried to build a better life so I could give Julia everything, and instead, I missed everything. His voice carried 25 years of regret. You didn't know? I asked quietly. No, but I should have left better information, tried harder to stay in touch. I should have. He paused. I've spent 25 years thinking about what I should have done differently. My mother spent 25 years thinking the same thing. You were both trying your best, just missed each other by 1 month. Bad timing. I nodded. I suppose you want a DNA test to be certain. That's fine. I already think so, but I need it confirmed, legally, medically, and to be absolutely sure before I let myself believe it, before I let myself feel it. If I let myself believe you're my daughter and the test comes back negative, I don't think I could handle it. Understood. We'll do the test. Adrian called on the 3rd day. The results are in. Can you meet me at the hospital? I want us all together. I'll be there in 30 minutes. When I arrived, he was outside my mother's room holding an envelope. His hands were steady, jaw tight. Ready? He asked. As ready as I'll ever be. We walked in together. My mother sat up straighter. Adrian opened the envelope, read the first page, then looked at me. 99.9% probability of paternity. Lucia, you're my daughter. Oh my God. I ran to my mother, both of us in tears. I looked at Adrian. You can come too. Hesitant at first, he joined our embrace. All 3 of us cried. What happens now? I asked. Now I fix this, he said, looking at my mother. I lost so many years. I'm not losing whatever time is left. Over the next week, things moved quickly. Dr. Daniela Hill, my mother's oncologist, called me. Miss Rossi, someone claiming to be Adrian Keller's representative, wants to transfer your mother to a private facility. Unlimited budget, access to experimental treatments. Is this legitimate? Yes. He's an old friend of my mother's, very generous. Is she comfortable? Yes. He wants to help, and we need help. Dr. Hill coordinated the transfer. 2 days later, my mother was moved to Memorial Sloan Kettering. Private room, private nurses, top oncologists. Adrian paid for everything, including $140,000 in unpaid medical bills. He also paid my rent for a year and told me to quit the restaurant and focus on school. I dropped out of NYU when my mother got sick. I couldn't afford tuition and her medical bills. Go back, Adrian said. Finish your degree. Your mother wants that for you. I can't accept this. It's too much. It's not too much. It's 24 years too late. Over the following weeks, I watched them together. Adrian visited every day, sometimes twice. He sat with her for hours, holding her hand, talking, laughing, crying. They shared the 25 years they had missed. Adrian spoke about building his company, the long hours, the loneliness, and why he never married, because no one ever felt like her. Julia told him about raising me, the struggle, the fear. We were in the same city for 25 years and never crossed paths. Until Lucia. They looked at me. She saved us, my mother said. Our daughter saved us. The immunotherapy worked. Not perfectly, not a cure. But after 3 months, Dr. Hill had news. The tumors were shrinking. Not gone, but significantly smaller. We're calling this a remission, Mom cried. So did I. So did Adrian. How long, she asked. I can't promise anything, but with continued treatment, you could have years, not months. Years? She whispered. Years, he said, taking her hand. 6 months after that night in the restaurant, Adrian proposed. Not in a fancy restaurant, not with a big production, just in her hospital room on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. I should have asked you 25 years ago. Should have put a ring on your finger and never let you go to Italy. But I was young and scared. I'm not scared anymore. Julia Rosie, will you marry me? She said yes. They married a month later in a small ceremony. Me, Thomas Beck, Dr. Hill, and a few nurses. Julia wore a simple white dress. Adrian wore a suit. In the hospital chapel, they promised forever, and this time, they meant it. 2 years later, my mother is still alive. The cancer is stable and managed. She visits Sloan Kettering once a month and lives the rest of the time. She and Adrian bought a house on the Connecticut coast. She always wanted to live near the ocean. They travel when she feels strong. Italy, Germany, places they'd left behind decades ago. I finished my degree at NYU last spring and now work at a book publisher. Last week, I had dinner at their Connecticut house. We sat on the porch, watching the sunset, drinking wine, talking about nothing important. At one point, I noticed my mother and Adrian holding hands, both left hands intertwined. The tattoos were visible: 2 roses, 2 sets of thorns, 2 infinity symbols, faded but still there after 27 years. Do you ever regret it? I asked. The tattoo? Adrian said, I don't regret it. It was the only thing that kept me believing she was real, that what we had wasn't just a dream. Julia added, I thought about covering it or removing it, but I couldn't. It was all I had left of him. Adrian said, now it's a reminder that love doesn't die. Even when you think it's gone, even after 25 years, it waits. L'amore è bello, ma fa male ed è per sempre, Julia said softly. Love is beautiful, but it hurts, and it lasts forever. Adrian agreed. They didn't get a fairy tale. My mother is still sick, and cancer may take her eventually, but not today. Today they hold hands, matching tattoos visible in the fading light. Today they have forever, however long that may be. Have you ever discovered something about your parents' past that changed everything? Or witnessed a love story that proved time and distance cannot kill what is real? Share your story in the comments. If this story of lost love, second chances, and how one small moment can change multiple lives touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to never miss our next inspiring story. Thanks for watching.